we had her on before, and I had a really nice conversation with her. And now she's back because she's directing, and I love to celebrate that. A Murder to Remember, which airs on the 2nd of August at 8 p.m. Eastern on Lifetime, which I was just saying how Lifetime is very, 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 very white. And now we're going to have something different. I don't know, Rob. I don't know, Robert. Are there black characters in this? Let me welcome back to the show. Actress extraordinaire. She's an amazing human being. Robin Givens, welcome.
Oh my God! Oh, you made me smile. That made me laugh. That's funny.
Let's talk a little bit about the world that I think will never go back to normal. I don't know what normal is. I was talking to someone today about this period being a great equalizer, because if you are truly talented, I think talent is going to rise. If you have, reliant on bells and whistles and, all kinds of, fairy dust, so to speak, to do your art, it now, everything's not at your disposal. And I think there's going to be an emergence of great art that's going to come out of this period that would not have been seen or heard from if not. And are you seeing more opportunities or fewer opportunities? How is your world changing now in Hollywood?
I think, for me, I think in many respects, we're still very much in the midst of this, even though a lot of our people want us to be over it. I mean, we're still in many respects, when you even look at the numbers, we're in the midst of this pandemic. What was interesting in terms of A Murder to Remember is we got it done. I mean, it was a real accomplishment to get this movie finished. And then because of technology, I was able to edit from home. So, my DP was in London, the editor was in LA, we were in Florida. You could edit from home. I was on a set with a friend of mine, Melissa Joan Hart. They were shooting something, and I think people are trying to figure out what this new normal looks like in terms of working and getting a COVID test 3 times a week or what you'll have to do. But I think people are trying to create, and write, and I'm not sure what it looks like. We're just trying to hang in there, talk to you, and keep going,
Tell us, and you can follow her. I don't know how active you are on the Twitters at the Rockin' Robin, the letter N, Robin, ROBN. This particular Murder to Remember, how did you get I didn't know that you wanted to direct. Did you know you wanted to direct? Has this always been on your bucket list of things to do?
Yeah, I had been wanting to direct for some time, and I had been directing a lot of theater pieces, actually. So the person that actually brought this project to me, who I worked with, I had been submitting some things that I had written to him for quite some time, and kept saying no to me. But he finally said, "I've got a script for you." So this person that brought it to me knew that I'd been wanting to direct for about 7 years now, and I had no idea I was going to fall in love with the script. And he introduced me to Leslie Greif, who was our executive producer. And Leslie, then I had to interview with his team, and then I had to go in and interview with Lifetime. And Karen, when I went in for my meeting with Lifetime, that conference table seemed like the longest, biggest conference table forever and ever. It just went on. It was so intimidating. And it's been something that I've wanted to do. So it's nice to kind of come back to it. And, we talked about my kids. I've just been concentrating on being a mother for so long. We talked about that before, you and I.
Yeah.
And just how, once you are kind of an empty nester, you got to have the courage to kind of come back to yourself, make yourself your own project, and get back to your own hopes and dreams. And that's what I've been trying to do.
Biggest challenge with this being your directorial debut, biggest challenge, biggest surprise, biggest obstacle that you had to face doing this?
There were a lot of those. I think that sense of I knew the acting and the character development was going to be my strength. I knew that I was going to I knew that I was going to be comfortable there. I knew one of the first phone calls I made when Lifetime finally said yes to me was to Bill Duke, who directed me in Rage in Harlem, and we've remained friends. And I got such immense respect. I was like, Bill, I got to talk to you, And, he said to me, Robin, be prepared. Just don't wing it. Don't wing, be prepared. And that's what I was. I mean, I read that script back and forth. I broke down every scene you could possibly think of. I did every shot you could think of. I worked with my DP like, we were like, sophomores in college. We just went to work. But I think that sense of making your days, as we all know, we've got a schedule, and it's up to you to make your days so we don't go into overtime and, the people have to write extra checks and things like that. And then I think, that sense of, quite honestly, Karen, being a woman. I mean, everybody when I walk into a room thinks I'm about. They envision me as 5'10", 6 feet tall, and I come in the room and I'm this big, and my first AD patted me on the head. Oh, look at you, you're cute. Hey, like I was a kid, and I was like, wait, just taking the helm, and having your voice heard, and having the confidence to run the ship.
Hey, Robin, this is Andrew McCaskill. I'm a co-host on the Karen Hunter Show, and on Mondays. Hey, you talked about directing, and you talked about having those relationships that you sort of kept throughout your career. Like, you've been on television, it shows that we all love, as well as movies, for the last 30 years. And so I'm curious, when you're looking at, whether or not Ambitions is coming back, or all of these other things that you're involved in, what's that one, what are the relationships that you go back to when you need to sort of get the well refilled for your own career ambitions? Like, who do you talk to when you're saying, I need that little pep talk?
Yeah, you know what? It's a good question. It puts a smile on my face because it kind of just depends. Like, I knew when I got this job, Bill was going to be the person I wanted to speak with. He knows me. He's known me forever. He first was an actor, so he gave me that talk. There are times, I call Kim Whitley, Kim Whitley, who I did Sparks and Sparks with, who just makes me smile, has known me, since my first son. I always do everything by my children. I can tell that's how I measure time. So it kind of just depends on what you need. Kim's got this depth to her, but she's always going to say something in a way, give you the truth that warms your heart and makes you smile. I was talking to Michael Elias not too long ago, who's one of the creators of Head of the Class. He was sending me a book that he wrote, and they're doing a reboot of Head of the Class. And all of the actors Head of the Class really stay in touch quite a bit. Chris Rock, you can text periodically, even if it's just a, hey, how are you? Are the kids good? So just kind of depending on what you need, you go to different people.
Interesting. So I jokingly said Lifetime is very white, and it's not a joke actually. Even though I watch,
you weren't joking.
I watch a lot. So tell me about this, A Murder to Remember. What are we going to see? What's the intrigue? Who got killed? Why should we? What's the plot?
It really is, I think, a wonderful film. I have to say I'm proud of it. It was a lot of work, but we really meet this young woman who's newly married with her husband, and they're celebrating their first year anniversary. And she's very much a little girl, but she's at that age where you feel all grown up, which is what happens when you're 19, 20 years old. And it's sort of her journey really becoming a woman. They go on their camping trip to celebrate their first year anniversary. They come across a man. They help him out in the woods. They shouldn't have done that. He sees her. He wants her. He takes her. And he ends up holding her captive for some time. And the interesting, tricky part about this is she ends up having to lean on him in order to escape the situation. So the woods, they find themselves in the woods, and the woods kind of go from her paradise with her husband to her prison with this captor. And when she finally makes it out, she's very bonded with him because he's in fact kind of convinced her, wait, I'm the one that saved your life. I'm the one that saved your life. I'm the one that saved your life.
Stockholm
and it's about
syndrome.
Her sort of, and there you go. And her becoming untangled from that relationship.
So I'm imagining these are white people because you're talking about woods. I'm just...
because they're celebrating in the woods instead of
in the
on
woods.
beach
Yeah,
in Jamaica.
yeah. That's white people stuff right
camping.
there. Huh? Am I correct? This is a hypothesis. I just want to test it out.
Oh my God, my stomach is killing me. They're white. Yes, they're
Okay, all right. I'm just like in the woods. This is not
we go
something.
camping.
Yeah. No, we're not camping for no.
They're going
Not
fishing.
for.
They're going
No,
fishing.
we might fish, but fishing is a different kind of because
You do
Drew
fish.
fishes.
I love fishing.
Drew
You're right.
fishes. Yeah.
I'm planning
but-
a fishing trip right now. So,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
but-
fishing.
but we are leaving the woods.
The woods. That's just not our thing. It's just like bears out there, snakes and stuff. Nobody trying to
Coyotes.
have a
Let me
romantic.
tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a scene we were shooting. It was about 1:30. My son was with me. Time's going, and you could hear the coyotes beginning to howl. And at first, the howling was far away, and it kept getting closer and closer and closer. The howling.
Okay. So I'm imagining also because I rocks with the Lifetime even if I don't see myself all the time unless they're doing one of them ratchet specials from that 90s. Anyway, I won't go there. I won't go there, Robert Givens, because they gave you opportunities to direct. So I'm happy when we get opportunities to direct things that are not black, because that's the true measure of equity is that you should be directing a cast that does not look like you. Because it happens in the opposite all the time.
Yep. See? So I'm very glad you said that. Thank you. I didn't have to convince you. I was thinking that. I'm glad you said that because that is true. It's not like they said, oh, Robin Givens is a black woman, a black actress. We got to give her the black thing to do. You know what I mean? So I really applaud them for that. Yeah.